Greetings, Ninja Marketers. This is Gary Wagner, Ninja Marketing Dojo, with a short video on how to add your POP emails or website email addresses to Gmail. You know, we all think of Gmail as a free email program, and it's easy to have, and it's convenient, and all those kind of nice things. If you have an Android type of phone, then you automatically set up Gmail because that's one of the things that makes it connect, and you know, it's part of the process of an Android phone is having a Gmail account. So tons of folks have Gmail accounts, and of course Gmail is popular now because of Google Plus and YouTube and Google Calendars, and there's so many things that Google has now that key off of a Gmail account. But one of the things that a lot of people don't understand or don't realize is that you can set up a POP email address or your website email that you used to have to use something like Outlook, Outlook Express, Thunderbird, or some of the other programs out there that would actually download the mail to your home computer, and that's how you check the mail. So you could leave that program up, and it worked well. But where it really started to break down was with smartphones. And I know with my particular Android device, uh, I had my POP emails, my website emails, my sales at 800biz emails set up to come into my phone, but some days I would get them, some days I would get nothing. I might go a day or two without getting any emails on my phone when I had 50 or 100 or more on my desktop. It was not real efficient for syncing up with your smartphone devices. So in desperation, I decided, well, I'm going to try Gmail, and just to see how I like it, and I'll keep my Outlook set up because I've used it for well over 10 years, and I was almost addicted to it, and that's what I have for my calendar and everything. Once I switched over, I was hardly ever looked back. So I'm extremely pleased with what it does. Let me show you how to do it. So if you go to Gmail, this is my Gmail. I just happen to have a theme on the back of mine, which you can change out. But once you go to Gmail, you go over here to the little sprocket and you go to settings. And you go to scroll down to settings. And here's your basic Gmail settings. But you come over here to accounts. Check mail for other accounts using POP3. Now it will only let you check 5 email addresses. So you come down here and you say add a POP3 email account you own. You put in the email address, web address, and you put in the username. And I'm just making up one. This is not a real. So you put in your username. Some of you may have, it may just be your first name or the first part of the email address. In some cases, it may be the full email address. You put in the password. Then you'll need the POP server information from your host. Typically, it's mail.websitename.com. Now you have a couple of options. You can leave a copy of the retrieved message on the server. This is if you still want to check it at your home computer. Once you do this, like I said, once you get used to Gmail, you'll probably never want to do that again. But you also want to do that if you're checking it from a smartphone, so you would leave it on there. Always use a secure connection when retrieving. That will depend on what your server settings are. With my server, it does not use a secure setting. Do I want to label the incoming messages? I like to do this because then what it does is it creates a little tab beside the email to say it came in on this particular email address. So I say, and you leave the port at 110. That's the default for most POPs, unless your email service, your host, your website host tells you differently. You say add account. It's going to ask you if you want to be able to send mail as that particular email address, and it's probably a good idea because otherwise all email will be sent from your Gmail account. So if you're sending from a business, you probably want it to come from your original email, and you do that by just checking here. You go next step. This screen lets you put your your name on here, and it's what you want this, how you want it to appear. So maybe you want this to appear Gary Wagner 800 Biz, or same as you would with any program. Now, I usually don't treat it as an alias because it's always going to come from me. I'm not. That usually works when you're going to specify sending from another email address. So if you specify a different reply to, then that's where you would typically want to use this treat as an alias. Next step, do I want to send through Gmail, or do I want to send through 800 Business SMTP server? The easiest method is to send it through Gmail, but you can send it through your own POP email server as well. To do so, you would just click that box. If we leave it as Gmail, we go next step, and it's going to send me an email to verify. Now, should you decide to send it as through the SMTP, then you will need that SMTP server from your host. Change that to what your hosting company gives you. Put in your username and password again, and make sure the port matches whatever your hosting provider says. Make sure it's secure or not, and again, your hosting company will give you that information, and then you add the account. And at that point, it sends you a verification, sends you an email with a verification code that you'll come back here, paste in, and that email address is live and ready to go. And that's all it takes. So once you get that email confirmation code, you pop it in here, you click the verify button, and that mail is live. What will happen then when you get email, you'll see that this one is labeled. This one came in from Gary at GaryWagner.com, so it's labeled, easy for me to see. I can see here's another one. So it's a very simple process, and it really organizes. And I love the fact that I can check all my email in one place. So there's your quick tutorial on how to set up Gmail and how to set up Gmail to check your other website mail programs. Hope that helped, and have a good evening. This is Gary Wagner, 800 Biz Ninja Marketing.